from PRX.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and friends beyond the binary, it's time for the podcaster who's leaning in, because it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. All right, everybody, it's Scoots here, and I'm talking about a brand new sponsor, Everyday Dose. And if you listen to the show, you know how much I love coffee, but it's complicated, right? I love the smell, the steps of making it in the morning, the quiet time I have alone before I get my day started. But somewhere between the first cup and the second cup, I hit a wall, right? I'm drinking enough coffee to try to give me a jolt of energy, but it doesn't last. And then I start to get that edge, I'm jittery, I'm distracted. Later in the day, I start to lose focus. And then I go back to, wait a second, should I just drink 1 cup? Should I drink 3? Should I drink 4? Was it worth it? Like, what are the benefits? And you also know I'm someone that loves to tinker. I love to play around with stuff. I love testing out new gadgets, upgrades to my routine, doing things smarter. And I was like, man, I wish my coffee was smarter, right? I wish my coffee had an upgrade. Because if regular coffee's like a flip phone, what if there was a version of coffee out there that was like a flagship phone? Something that's like coffee, but without the downsides. And that's when I found Everyday Dose. Everyday Dose is coffee plus benefits. They combine high-quality coffee with powerful ingredients like lion's mane and chaga, collagen protein, nootropics, to fuel your brain, boost focus, and give you clean, sustained energy all day long. It tastes just like coffee without the downside. No crash, no jitters, just clean, sustained energy. Right now, for Black Friday, get 61% off your first Coffee Plus starter kit, a free A2 probiotic creamer, and over $100 in free gifts. Plus, enter for a chance to win $100 cash or get your entire order refunded. Visit everydaydose.com/sleep or use code SLEEP at checkout. Thanks, everybody. Sleep With Me podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are the things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations. Hey everybody, this is Scoots here, and this message is for super fans, super listeners only. Only those people who listen all night long and fall asleep fast in particular, or you've been listening to the show for years, or you listen 4, 5, 6, 7 nights a week. I'm just wondering during this season of gratitude if you're grateful for what Sleep With Me does in your life. I'm grateful to know I'm helping people out there who can't sleep just like I didn't, or people that can't sleep or just having a hard time in the deep dark night. But what is it about Sleep With Me you're grateful for? Go ahead, think about it. And would you miss that thing if it's gone? Like all the episodes of the show, me as the host, the show coming out 3 nights a week, new content, a variety of content, hour-plus episodes. Would you miss some of those things if they were gone? Do you think that would impact that thing you're so grateful for? The rest, the comfort, the friendship, the companionship, the distraction, the reliability? If you are, please consider supporting the show right now in this moment. We need you to support the podcast, because if you do, if you're the one person, and this is not a joke, like only one person's going to support the show tonight, and it's more than likely it's going to be 0 people. So are you the one person that's going to sign up and support the show because you're thankful for it? Because you're grateful for what it has done for you? If you're grateful for the show and you don't want to have to miss it, it'll be around if you support it. If 0 people support it, it's going to be tough. If you're the one person who supports the show tonight, that means the show will probably be around. It is a paradox, because it's going to be either 0 or 1, and you get to decide. Thanks. Oh, Mystery Bard. A lot of people help out on the show. Who are they?
Posty poster son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes too. W, the legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the mystery bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at jonathanmann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Hannah like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. And hey, the thing I've been talking about lately is like there's ways to support the show beyond the sponsors and supporting the show directly. If you're an occasional listener, right? If you're a new listener or you can't afford to support the show, follow the show on your podcast app of choice. Make sure to like or comment if your app allows that, and say hi. Spread the word about the show in person when it comes up, or let people know about it. Go ahead right now. Follow the show on your podcast app right now. Then you get the latest episodes and stuff like that. Great. Yeah, spread the word when you can, or sign up we're relaunching our referral program. It's going to be based with like live stream get-togethers every once in a while. We're going to make it more fun. You could sign up for that. sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer, REFER. Thanks, and what do you say we get down with the show? All right, hey, you all night, tossing and turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep. Welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that's here to put you to sleep. We do it a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you can set aside whatever's keeping you awake, whether it's thoughts, feelings, physical sensations, travel, whatever it is. I want to create a safe place. I want to welcome you in. Come on in. Glad you're here. Let me take you. Would you like me to take your? Do you have a hat or coat or an umbrella? Anything I could take? I got a nice place to put it here. I got a gift bag for you. It's come on in. We've got plenty of places, and this is a safe place. Glad you're here. It doesn't even have a doorway, just a symbolic one to welcome you in. Did I say I'm glad you're here? Because I am. Come on in, let's sit down. Yeah, so I create a safe place. What I do is I send my voice, as we step into this even safer place here, I send my voice across the deep dark night. I use lulling, soothing, creaky dulcet tones, pointless meanders, rooms within rooms within rooms, all places of, nice, cozy places with plenty of space where you can relax. And I want to take your mind off whatever's keeping you up. Maybe put a, mild look of mild amusement or bemusement. Do you want to take your shoes off or not? I got a whole selection of socks here if you need them. Oh, yeah, and slippers and, bunny ones. I have onesies, I have rompers, I have it all. So go ahead, whatever you wish. I'm glad you're here. So I'm here to put you to sleep. And if you're new, welcome. Let me just give you the rundown. Structurally, the show is 6 minutes of business at the top. Thanks for going through that. That's what keeps the podcast going. Without it, wouldn't be able to keep the podcast free. So that's important, but if you're new, not super important. Then we have an intro. Intro's around 12 minutes or so. We're a few minutes into that. That's where I will, try to explain what the podcast is or make a metaphor explaining what it is. Or I'll just try to explain what the podcast is and not get distracted. Thus demonstrating my ability to be distracted. And then come back and say, really hope I can help you fall asleep. Thanks for stopping by. Then we'll have our series, holiday series, a few short series for the holiday season. It's a soap opera it's mellow. It's mellow without the drama. It's a like mallow. Well, maybe we'll talk about those mallow bars. Because does anybody consider themselves a candy private eye? Because I could use one. I think I've talked about this on the show before. Hopefully I'll remember that. And then, so that'll be about 45 minutes of our melodrama, non-drama, mellow-rama. Welcome to, that's a safe place, a mellow-rama. If like, I'm going to buy a skating rink, I'm going to fill it with puffy stuff, and it'll be my mellow-rama. And then I'll say, like I say in a mellow voice, you spin me, rise round, baby, rise round. And so anyway, let me get off it, like, so I don't earworm anybody. So that's the structure show. Then there's some thank yous at the end. Now, if you're new, you also don't need to listen to this podcast. You could hear it. You could notice it. You could barely process it. You could just reflect it. Or you could be, it's like you're in the woods and a tree fell, but you didn't hear the tree, but you were still in the woods. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if you're camping and you're asleep and it falls, like, way the heck off? It still made a noise, I would assume. But you were asleep. And that's kind of like this podcast. We could say, you say, like you're just chilling in your tent, you know, you get that cozy tent thing going. Maybe your snuggle buddies snuggling up next to you asleep. You got a nice book, you're reading it. Maybe some nice warm light and you're enjoying the book. And then you hear like a swish. And then you say, well, that sounded like a swish. Didn't sound like a tree falling, you know, like 800 meters away. That's what this is. They call it a podcast. And you'll say, well, I listened to a podcast. It wasn't like the other podcasts I listened to. Night Vale, 99 PI, Lore, Harmontown, My Brother, Me, Bryce Sessions. It's not like those. But he calls it a podcast. But yeah, it's kind of like that swishing tree when I'm in my tent. You know, like before when I was cooking dinner, I was listening to Illusionist and Criminal back to back while I was grilling. And then we were doing the dishes. We listened to 30 for 30 and like, wait, this podcast, like, those are all riveting stories. Oh yeah. And the theory of everything, we were totally thinking, Yeah, and then we listened to Launch Left. We had that debate. Like, those are podcasts you listen to. Mine's one, maybe you hear it, maybe you don't. So no pressure to listen. But here's another, thing. No pressure to fall asleep. I'm going to be here for at least an hour to keep you company. I'm your bore friend. I'm your bore bae. I'm your bore bud. Your bore bruh. Or whatever you're comfortable with. It could just be the pod guy. As many people do call me. But I'm here to keep you company in the deep, dark night while you fall asleep, to distract you and just be your friend, to take your mind off of stuff. Now, if you want to be my friend, so those are the rules. You don't need to listen. No pressure to fall asleep. I'll be here for at least an hour. There's plenty of listeners I hear from on a regular basis that don't fall asleep. Because of whatever's going on with them. So I'm there to the end. I'm dedicated to this show and to you, to helping you fall asleep or to keeping you company. Also want to know if you're dedicated, if you're a candy sleuth, you could probably just type this into Google, but there used to be, and I think I probably talked about this in a few intros, but bear with me. There used to be another, you got the Reese's peanut butter cup, right? That's like a pretty popular thing. At some point in my childhood, and I don't know if it was a regional candy, but there was something called a mallow cup. I believe. Now, again, I've gone into, I've fugue stated, I spend most of my life in either, fugue state, denial, daydreams, illusions, delusions, fantasies. So this could have been one of those. But I remember there was something called a mallow cup. I think it had a yellow wrapper. And it was the same cast, like as a Reese's peanut butter cup, but instead it was something different. And I know what you're saying. Oh, marshmallow and chocolate. No, not exactly marshmallow and chocolate. And maybe maybe the sleuths will say, Scoots, that was 100% marshmallow and chocolate. And I say, really? You're positive there was no strange artificial flavors in there? And they'd say, well, let me get back to you. There's trade secrets. But it and remember it had, it did have some sort of creamy mallow-like thing, but also had maybe a twinge of artificial coconut. I don't know, maybe an artificial coconut flavor. And I think it had some chunks, the good kind of chunks, chunks in candy, not just chunks. And I believe it was called a mallow cup. And I would get those, like Charlie Brown would get a rock. The other kids would get candy. I would get a mallow. They'd say, you need to, you know what, you're the one that's always worrying. Here's a mallow cup, mellow out. But I remember I liked those. So I guess I'll have to go on the internet later and see if they really existed. But I guess I thought that would take up a few more minutes. But I think that is this podcast is kind of supposed to be mellow, and we're going to do melodrama, but mellow-rama. So that'll be tonight's story and the story for the next couple of Thursdays. They'll be kind of linked. It'll be like a soap opera. You'll be able to get in, get out, people talk. Here's what it'll be: mostly people talking about stuff. Nothing too intense because it takes place at our mellow-rama. Though it takes place at the North Pole, really. But anyway, if you're new here, the whole idea of the podcast is, I've been there. The reason I make this show is because it can relate to what it feels like tossing and turning, wondering what the heck, why can't I friggin' fall asleep? I got a freaking rise round going through my head in mallow cups. So now I got to get up and walk around and read a book. And they get back and you say, well, I still can't. What was keeping me awake? I did everything I was supposed to. I didn't have anything other than water since 11 a.m. I mean, other than lunch and dinner and, leafy greens. I had some leafy greens. I even rubbed my elbows with leafy greens when I took a warm shower. Check. I did some breathing. I listed things I'm grateful. Well, I tried to think of stuff I was grateful for, and I listed things I'm neutral about, which is, better than that's on my way to the gratitude list. I did a neutral list, which I think is a big advancement for me. And then so I did all those things, and I still can't fall asleep. What the heck? That happens to me a lot. And I say, why can't I just turn a switch? Or why doesn't this routine work 100%? Well, here's the thing. I'm going to be here to keep you company either way. I'd like to help because I've been there. And maybe I can maybe I could take your mind off stuff and then you just drift off. You say, well, you lost me at reindeer, Scoots. You lost me when you went on that tangent about chestnuts. Why do you need an open fire for chestnuts? You say chestnuts roasting on a freaking roasting in an oven. Then that's way more. Isn't that a better idea? Once you started talking about that, I fell asleep. So that's it. I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you stopping by. Now, if you're new, give the podcast a few tries. I realize that you're probably skeptical. This podcast is supposed to who does this person, what in the heck? Why did this person tell me this? I'm going to try to be your friend or friendly or friend-like. Doesn't work for everybody. But give it a couple tries and then, email me to LibriVox books. That's another thing you could try if this podcast doesn't help. But I'm glad you're here. I really work hard. I strive and I yearn to help you fall asleep. Thanks for coming by. Hey, everybody, it's Scoots. If you're a Sleep With Me Plus supporter and you're hearing this, you're listening to the ad-supported feed of the podcast. And that means you have not set your table for your holiday celebrations. This is the holiday season, time for Thanksgiving and thinking about what we're grateful for. And I'm telling you, you'll be so grateful and so thankful you set up your Sleep With Me Plus content because it's designed with you, the super listener, in mind. And you want to put all that content in one place, not a music app, not the podcast app you listen to your daytime podcasts in. Pick a podcast app and just put your Sleep With Me Plus content only in there. It's going to change your listening for the show. It's going to make it so much easier to pick your favorites, to make your playlists, to find what you're looking for. You'll be full of sleepy holiday gratitude. But make sure you have your Sleep With Me Plus content set up. If you're listening to this message, you don't have it set up. This is a totally different podcast hosted by a totally different company than the company that hosts the Sleep With Me Plus content. So go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus, log in, and set up your bonus content, or contact our support team so they can help you out. support@supercast.com. And you'll be so thankful you did. If you're curious about Sleep With Me Plus, check it out. You get a 7-day trial at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thanks, everybody. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our new, yet untitled, and probably won't be entitled till the run is finished, series, a holiday series. I'm thinking it'll be like North Pole stories. I had it on my to-do list to brainstorm this because I had as the North Pole turns. I think that might be it. As the guiding northern lights of the North Pole turns, and you can probably get the wordplay already. As the North Pole turns, there's as the guiding light of the North Pole turns. I don't know the other ones, but so this is our new holiday series. It's a soap opera, or I guess it's inspired by the soap operas because it's not sponsored by soap. And I really think soap operas. I didn't watch a lot of them as a child. I watched I think I talked about this one other time. One time I was home with my mom, and for 2 weeks from school, and I think I watched soap operas then, and I kind of got into it. Maybe in the summer, I could see I can see the appeal to this. It's very adult, and I like the cliffhangers. So this podcast won't have those things. And then I've read a couple of good articles. There's this New Yorker article I talk about that I can't find right now. And it had to be the early aughts or just the end of 99. No, it's probably the aughts, about soap opera writing. And I said to myself, I had heard about this, I said to my sleuth self, I said, I wonder if there's anyone keeping track of if there's any old archives or anyone kept a journal or even audio recordings of the North Pole, particularly in the 1950s, because I said, well, I'd like it to have and I tracked someone down, and I guess for everything to make sense. So this is our, you're not a narrator. Come on in. Good to see you. This is a Jack Frost, and I'm going to get Jack Frost mic'd up here. But Jack Frost, has these, has helped me put this together, this series. And Jack, you're not exactly a narrator. You're kind of like a voice of conscience, kind of like I would hear on some of these radio broadcasts. Oh, thank you. Jack Frost here. Yes, I'm not the narrator per se. You may call me the voice of conscience, or I like to call myself the place setter, like I'm there setting the table for the characters. And yeah, these North Pole stories, they were recorded in the 1950s, very, very popular in the North Pole. And there has been some debate, and I've kept the files as secret as I can because a lot of people say, well, is this fiction or nonfiction? And, we've agreed to just play them as they exist. These North Pole stories, which you're calling, Jack, I'm calling it As the North Pole Turns. And Jack, normally I have Antonio Banderas introduce things, but I'd love it if you would, so you're going to, you'll do the place setting. So every scene, you'll set the table for us. So as the listeners, Like it'll be just because the sleep podcast is usually accidentally confusing. I mean, the listeners don't know that, but I say, well, this totally makes sense. That's when I know I have myself a sleep hit. You know what I'm saying? Am I making any sense, Jack? Oh, you're making a little bit of sense. So yeah, I'll set the scene and I'll try to give some clarity. But remember, this is a radio drama, they call them. So it's going to be a little bit different. I've checked out your other podcasts, and this will be a little bit different, but very similar. And I think it'll put people to sleep. Now, Jack, now that I have you here, you're not going to be nipping at anyone's nose, are you? No. Oh, because there's a song, like, what about, like toes like Eskimos or something? Do you know anything about that, Jack? Yeah, I don't know what you're referring to, but I'm excited to be a part of As the North Pole Turns. So that's the title that we've settled on now, Jack. So, Jack, why don't you tell us, actually, let's help so why don't you tell us about a few of the characters that we can expect this season in As the North Pole Turns? Okay, well, we have Donner and Blitzen play a big part in this season of these stories here, two of the reindeer. We have Reverend Molding, who is a American who is working with the North Pole, and it plays a big part. We have Ginny Jingle, who's the head of production for the elves, kind of the leader of the Northern Pole elves, and her husband, Jangle Jingle. Okay, so we have Ginny Jingle and Jangle Jingle, Donner and Blitzen. Comet and Cupid appear at all? Let me tell you about a few of the other characters you could expect is Fiona Fireside, a reporter for Elf News 1, and her partner, Rolfine, who is a head caretaker and trainer of reindeer. And Jack, what about Santa and Santa Claus? And so this is the 1950s in the North Pole. And I didn't really pay attention in history class. Is this anything like Happy Days, Jack? Oh, now I know why you're on the, am I on the naughty list? Just being a buffoon can get you on the naughty list. Is Fonzie or Fozzie in this? Okay, do you have any serious questions? Because I'm ready for North Pole stories as the North Pole turn. I'm ready for what we agreed upon to begin. Well, is Santa Claus or Mrs. Claus in this story? You know that we can't reveal those things at this time. Okay, well, I'm very excited to see. So this is the 1950s. Can you set the mood? I've never been to the North Pole. But I can picture, is there a beautiful snow falling? Yes, there is. There's a chill in the air, but it's not too much of a chill. And the pine trees grow as the shadows grow up in the north. But the northern lights also bring joy to your heart, and the joy in the heart of the elves preparing for the holiday season. And everyone at the North Pole, whether it's 1950, 1951, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1999, or 2017, everyone there is preparing for a happy holiday season to spread good cheer. But at the same time, everyone's also just living their lives. But that's the part you don't see down here. In the netherworld, as we call it. But we're here to give you... Can we start, please? Okay, Jack, well, I'm just trying to, maybe set, does it smell like gingerbread at the North Pole? In some places it does, near the gingerbread. Also smells like pine, cranberries in places, turkey, stuffing even at the cafeteria. Is stuffing aside every day at the cafeteria. I can picture 1950. So I go to the cafeteria if I'm an elf. Also, are meals included with your service? They are. So I can go, I go into a cafeteria. We don't really have cafeterias anymore. I mean, that I know about, except at schools and stuff. But so I would get a scoop of mashed potatoes and a scoop of stuffing in like an ice cream scoop. We call it a stuffing scooper, and a mashed potato scooper. But yes, you could do that. Do you have like throwback nostalgia, like 1950s cafeteria still there? Actually, you're very forward thinking. We do. Yeah, but I'm not here to give you okay, thank you. So I guess that's it. I guess I'm here with Jack Frost, and we're here to present the first episode of As the North Pole Turns. Good morning, Miss Jingle. You're going to go downstairs. You can smell that Blitzen's already prepared breakfast. And you know Blitzen wants to talk about returning to active duty. But there's something in your oven, your cookie oven, that says different, doesn't it, Miss Jingle? But there's part of you that doesn't want to say anything, huh? Is it because you're worried about what Blitzen will say? Or is it that you're worried you're wrong? Well, I'm sure everything will work out just fine. Ginny, why don't you go downstairs? It sounds like Blitzen's finishing up breakfast. Oh, hello, Blitzen. Thank you so much for making breakfast. Well, I know you have a big meeting today, and I want you well fed. Oh, thanks, Blitzen. Yes. And how are you feeling today? Here's your eggs. Here's your eggs, Ginny. I've got them just like you like them, over medium. And how am I feeling? I'm feeling full of that holiday spirit. I feel like a sugar plum. I feel like a vision of a sugar plum dancing along at a sugar plum dance. Oh, well, that's good, Blitzen. Have you heard from Dr. Ross? What did Dr. Ross say about you dancing? Oh, the toast burnt. I'm sorry, Ginny. I'm just excited, or nervous excited, I guess. Oh, about going back to duty, huh? Yes. Sorry. Here, the toast is, I'll make another set of toast. But yeah, I know I can't dance. Speaking of dancing, what do you think Santa's going to say about this? I was reading this article here. It says this plastic stuff, that the toys, it's really made from oil. Is that true? Like oil, like the geysers at the Texas Goo? Oh, yes, I'm supposed to get a briefing on that today, but it is a composite. Yes, I think petroleum is one of the main ingredients in plastic. Yes, Blitzen. It's also one of the main appeals, I guess. So it's not metal, it's not wood. I heard that they're going to use molds. What do all the elves think about all that? Injecting goop into molds instead of crafting toys. Well, Blitzen, I think, we'll build consensus as we always do. But just because we're at the North Pole doesn't mean we don't have to come to grips with reality. And sometimes that means things change. We all know what it means, change or progress. Kind of like the progress you're making with Dr. Ross. Oh, geez, ring. The phone's ringing. Excuse me. Oh, I'll get it, Blitzen. You do worry about the toast. Yes, hello. Oh, yes, hello, Donner. It's good to hear from you. Yes, oh, yes, I'm terrific, thank you. No, I'll pass the message on. No, you have a good day, Donner. What's the toast? The toast is burning again, Blitzen. Oh, dear, I'm so sorry. Okay, well, that was Donner, and Donner said to have a good day back at work. Donner might not be there when you come in. Ginny, is everything okay? You don't seem to be yourself. Is there something you're not telling me about these plastics and the representatives that are here to work with management. Oh, well, Blitzen, it's just that I want the best for everything and everyone. But I'm here to mainly represent the interests of the elves and the elven workers and our co-workers. That's the best thing for everyone. But when we share a vision, I don't know, compromise is very hard, Blitzen. And like we just said a few minutes ago, change is even harder. And I just worry about everyone. I really, really worry about people accepting change. And while we'll have to accept the change of the plastics and, the less metal toys and less wood toys and the wood carvers and the metal crafters, I don't know how to get them to accept the change. Would you have any advice for them? When things change, maybe they can't go back to the way they were. What would you say to them, Blitzen? Well, that's a good question, Jenny. I'm not sure. I'm trying to keep an eye on this toast, and it's really hard, because what if you don't want things to change, and then they do, and you don't like it? It's just not fair. And I thought, what are we up here working for all the time? If we don't get what we want, and I know that's a kid's way to look at it, but I just think that's what they're thinking, is saying, well, I'd rather not change, and now this change happened anyway, and now what am I going to do? Maybe I'll just, you know what I mean, Jenny? Oh, yes, I'm just trying to watch the toast, too, but it looks like the toast is almost done. Yes, it's odd, but, I have to run along now, so I'll take that toast to go. Just pop it out now, and I'd rather it be underdone. You have a good day, Blitzen, and I'll see you later. Okay, you have a good day, too, Jenny. Well, Fiona, Jack Frost here, your conscience. This is one big interview. I hope you're ready, because this could be a big break, a break you've been waiting for. But there's something nagging at you. Is it the disagreement you had at home with Rolfine, or is it something else? Well, you better get ready for your interview, Fiona. Yes, this is Fiona Fireside, here live for Elf News 1. Okay, great. So, okay, let me see. Can you hear me in the headset? Okay. Okay, can I have a few minutes, because I want to do some, is Reverend Moulding in the building? Okay, just send him in and cut our mics. I want to just have some quiet time with him to build some rapport, and then I'll be ready. Yeah, hello, everyone. Let me just do one run through before he gets here. Okay, just cut the mics, please. No? Okay, whatever. Just send him in. This is Fiona Fireside for Elf News 1. Oh, goodness, I guess I am a little nervous. Fiona Fireside reporting for Elf News 1. Oh, Reverend Moulding, hello, right over here. It's good to see you. Yes, I'm Fiona Fireside. Oh, you do recognize me. Thank you. What is this you have here? Well, Fiona, I've brought you and the rest of the station staff, these poinsettias, some people say. Now, I see you recoiling, because I heard you were allergic to poinsettias, but I want you to hold this one and to take a good look at it, Fiona, because I don't think it's going to bother your allergies. It's lighter than is this, this isn't a real plant, is it? It looks so real, and there's even little snow and water crystals on it. Is this what I've heard about these, is this a silk poinsettia? Oh, no, Fiona, this is a plastic poinsettia. Latest thing we're working on at Moulding Industries, and I thought I'd bring some of you some for the station staff to bring home. But particularly, I knew you love the color, but I had heard you had an allergy, and I figured it would be. I didn't mean to, frighten you and worry about you sneezing. I know we're about to go live on air. Oh no, I think this is terrific, Reverend Molding. This will be good. We're going in live in a few minutes. You're all mic'd up, Reverend, right? We'll have a seat. And I know I'm not allowed to ask you. You call yourself Reverend, but I know I won't be covering any of that. But I'd be more interested to just talk to you one-on-one about what kind of Reverend, not on the air. Yeah, that's fine, Fiona. I'm glad you're curious. But yeah, I think I'll. Why don't you put the poinsettia in your lap and okay, thanks, Brad. Yes, this is Fiona Fireside here for Elf News 1. Nobody's perfect, right? And I'm here live with Reverend Molding. You may be reading some things about the future of toy production and the worldwide demand that's increased. And, Santa's, but I'm here live to ask some questions of Reverend Molding, who's consulting with Santa, and how we can increase output and increase joy in the world. And you might see here, if anybody knows and they follow me, if anyone has been read up on me, I'm allergic to poinsettias. But Reverend Molding, you have a poinsettia in your lap, and I'm not sneezing. Can you tell us a little bit about it? Well, thanks, Fiona, and thanks everyone here at the North Pole for being so welcoming and so forward-thinking about the future of spreading joy at the holiday season and all year round. And yes, this poinsettia on my lap is made of plastic. It's, you might call it an imitation poinsettia, but even you, Fiona, you thought it was real, did you not? Oh, yes, I did. There's even little snow crystals on it. There's sparkles hidden. I'm noticing it sparkling a little. Yes, Fiona, we have snowflakes and crystals and sparkles. I don't know if you can see it at home, but this poinsettia has even more holiday cheer than a living one, I think. And, no digging and no planning. You just put it there. No sneezing by Fiona. Thank you for having me on. Now, Reverend Molding, I guess I want to get right into this interview and ask you some questions. There's allegations of a work slowdown here at the North Pole related to Santa's plastics initiative, which you are the lead consultant on. And some of the trade unions have expressed a lot of objections to using the word work slowdown, and that there is no work slowdown. So those are allegations, as I said. But they even calling into dispute your argument, or the argument being put forth of sustainability in meeting demand and increasing increasing the joy. That was his 20-year plan that we're in the middle of. And there's also this recent paper by Dr. Puffybeard, who says that loss of these tactile skills of the craftsmanship of woodworking, metallurgy, that a lot of these things are being lost in with the plastics initiative, and that they won't be able to be recovered, and that it's going to have an impact not just on the elven economy, but on the elven way of life and well-being of the elves that are the craftspeople. And I wonder if you could comment on that. Well, thanks, Fiona. I'm here at the North Pole because I believe in Christmas joy in the holiday season. And I'm working very closely with Santa and the leaders in the elven community, the leaders in other communities, and even the crafts unions to try to meet the demand to increase Christmas joy across the world. We live in something that's being slowly called a global village, and I want to see happy faces on all of the villagers in the global village. And as many reports have also come out, the beliefs in the North Pole and Santa Claus are plummeting. I mean, let's be honest. and at the same time, output, whether it's a work slowdown or it's just reality, that we can't keep up with demand here at the North Pole. What would happen, in which is a lagging indicator and which is a leading indicator? Is joy down because belief is down, or is belief down because output is down? But Fiona, I wanted to talk about the other thing you said, which is the tactile skills. And I would put forth to all of the elven people watching this report, and to those wise leaders that said, what about these tactile skills? The joy of woodworking, of metallurgy, of painting, of crafting, of building. That I'm not here to threaten any of those things or to make them go away. I'm here to say that that's a higher calling, Fiona. And while that will be mass production of toys will move away from that, that could be a good thing to open up these craftspeople to putting more time into it. Instead of it being an industrial process, it could be a process of joy for themselves as a pastime, and they could take all the time they need instead of trying to meet output schedules. And, we all know that down there in the lower lands, they think that this is all accomplished by magic and not by hard work. But we know different, don't we, Fiona? Oh, yes. So could you elaborate a little bit more on what you're talking about these precious skills to the elven people? Well, you say, I believe working with your hands is an important thing, and that not only could they start to create, a higher impact pieces and maybe models that we could model toys after, they could also become teachers and pass this knowledge on to not just elves, but the children of the world or the adults of the world, because, oh boy, do those adults need something to do down there. And, I come from quite a background, Fiona, and I've learned that self-determination of being a bootstrapper is just as important as having vision and Christmas joy, right? Am I right, everybody? Okay, well, Reverend Moulding, thank you for that. That is a brilliant answer, and I think that'll settle the hearts and the minds of many of the people listening. But I have one last question about the toys and the movement to plastic production and away from wooden toys and metal toys. And, while we have a tiny bit of your plastic in some of the toys here, we've always had something here at the North Pole, and it's an unofficial rule, but it's called the Andy Rule. Are you familiar with the Andy Rule, Reverend Moulding? Well, Fiona, we use a little Andy. Maybe you are familiar. I'm not sure, but anyone that's listening, I think everyone knows. But little Andy is a little Earth boy, and we use him as a model for toy usage, and not exactly the ideal model. Little Andy is, but we always go on the assumption that whatever we make here at the North Pole, little Andy's going to put it in little Andy's mouth. And he also, not only will little Andy put it in his mouth, he'll chew on it, little Andy, and he'll do many other things. So we ask ourselves, what would little Andy do with this? And then we do a little Andy's teacher or his caretaker, his mother, his father, say, why would you do that with that? Why would you take a wooden duck and do blankety blank? Why would you take a metal? So I'm just wondering if plastics have passed the little Andy test, or what you're thinking about that, because that's an essential part of the North Pole thinking, is that even though we're mass producing things, there's a lot of thought that goes into it, where this is systems-based economy. I think that maybe I read that somewhere. It doesn't take in this little Andy factor. So I guess what I'm asking, well, Fiona, let me just stop you right there, because I think I hear what you're asking, and I think I can tell you that I don't know what movies you've been watching or what you've been reading in your spare time, but I think I can say, in the words of a very popular person with children. It's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, Fiona. The future is a wonderfully safe place where people that are allergic to poinsettias, for example, could have a home full of poinsettias, and where children like little Andy could have all sorts of toys, and they could pass the toy test, or maybe little Andy would find his new toy so interesting, so engrossing, so immersive that little Andy wouldn't even put them in little Andy's mouth. Because when you start to think about what the opportunities that plastics allow us here at the North Pole, Fiona, they unlock things beyond the imagination of simple craftspeople. Maybe like a child, little elven girl who always dreamed of a furry octopus. And you get it because I have a gift for you here, Fiona. It's in this box right here. A girl that always told Santa Claus, I'd like to have an octopus I could pet with fur. Oh, wait a second. Is that what's in this box? Oh, my goodness, I'm opening it up. It's a furry octopus. And this is fur. No, Fiona, that is plastic. That octopus is of many different types of plastic or plastic-based products. And not only does it feel like real fur, does it not, Fiona? Oh, yes, it does. Oh, I can pet this octopus, and it's also a little bit squishy. I can even hold it. It's nice. That's right, Fiona. It's a nice. It's an octopus. So I think that's all we have. Thank you, Fiona, for having me on, and I'm glad I can see the Christmas joy on your face. And I hope to work with everyone here at the North Pole to replicate that. Okay, this is Fiona Fireside for Alpha News 1 reporting. Hey, Donner, this is Jack Frost. Looks like Rolfine said she's really looking out for your best interests, huh? But if flying reindeer were born to fly, or reindeer were born and given the power of flight, so in some sense they were born to fly. Why does Rolfine seem so set on keeping you from flying, Donner? And what does this have to do with Blitzen? What really happened? Oh, here she comes. Good luck, Donner. Good afternoon, Rolfine. How you doing today? Oh, hello, Donner. How good to see you. His slate seems looking very good from the reports I see from training this morning. That's very good. Have they been, I don't see any reports, though, on following my bedtime sleep protocols. Do you have those reports ready for me, Donner? Well, the team was a little bit tired. They said they didn't need your bedtime routines to sleep. We found it a little bit like putting the cart before the horse, as they say, Rolfine. And really, like all this running and the stuff's got us tired. And I wanted to talk to you, actually. Blitzen's supposed to be back to work today, and it's a little bit awkward, you know. And I was hoping we'd get to fly to welcome Blitzen back. Well, you can't possibly expect to fly if you haven't slept properly or followed the sleep protocols. And I've been paying strict attention to your calorie counts and your food intake of the entire team, and you seem to be setting a terrible example, Donner. This isn't a laughing matter, and I know you're smirking at me as I speak, but you are a team, and I am the manager of the team. I am your superior officer. Well, I mean, I'm a reindeer and you're an elf, Rolfine, no offense. And I know you're part elf and part snow person, but, we don't take orders. We work as a team with our team leader, Santa Claus. Well, actually, you don't anymore. I'm in charge, and I think we've gone through this. And with Blitzen, Donner, there won't be any flying today, and there may not be any more flying, period. And I know you say, well, what about Christmas? Or what are we going to do? Or go find, I know what you say about me behind my back, and I'm only here to help. It's to help all of the reindeer and all the other creatures of the North Pole. And let me ask you another question, Dana. Are you a beast of burden? Do you consider yourself a beast of burden? Or do you consider yourself like a bird that likes to fly higher than an eagle or whatever it is? Well, I don't know what you're trying to say, Rolfine. And I don't understand. You seem to just be, you seem to focus on the details and lose focus on the plan, on the big picture, which is flying the sleigh Christmas Eve and working the long nights. And I've been assured by Santa that this plastics initiative is going to lighten the load by 88%. Which will counteract all of the stuff you've been working so hard, the training, muscle mass, the sleep. We don't need any of that because we're not going to be carrying as heavy loads. And this is what we do. We're Santa's reindeer. And I don't know why you're standing in the way and claiming it's like that you know what's best for reindeer when you're not even a reindeer. Well, you know what, Donner, I don't claim to know what's best. I'm trying to learn what's best. And again, you might have one impression of what Santa Claus wants, and I may have another. But when you look at the chain of command, it has me at the head of the sleigh until Christmas Eve. And you're not the only team of reindeer that can fly anymore. And I realize you have this veteran attitude and all this experience and all this knowledge. And I'm here to try to help you. I'm not here to keep you from flying. I'm here to keep you flying long into the future. I'm just wondering the difference between right and wrong. And just because a kid loves candy doesn't mean they can eat candy all of the time. Well, I don't like to be talked to like I'm a child, especially when you have someone who's, I realize with Blitzen, I don't know if you caught the news at lunch, but there's someone in someone else's life out there, plastic propaganda. Okay, we'll just leave my wife out of it. I don't want her, this is none of your business. And, I'm just trying to do my best. I have a vision of sustainability for reindeer, and that's my focus. And yes, my focus must complement what you as a reindeer team wants and what you feel is best for you within the protocols that I've developed. And Donner, I don't mean to... point fingers. But I think if you were following my sleep protocol, you wouldn't be so grouchy, because I think this might be a part of it. Maybe your judgment's off because you haven't been sleeping well and you've been eating too much junk food. Oh, hello, Blitzen. Sorry, Donna and I were just having a discussion about, I'll leave you to. Excuse me. Well, hey, Blitzen, it's good to see you. Oh, yeah, it's good to see you too, Donner. How are things over at Ginny Jingle's house? Are they treating you okay? They are. I was hoping to get up flying today. Did you it doesn't sound like Rolfine. Did Rolfine say you've been only eating junk food and not sleeping? Yeah, Blitzen, I've missed you and miss hanging out with you and having you be a part of our team, and I missed your friendship, and I'm sorry. And I thought I'd talk her into letting you fly and let us all fly today, but we're grounded until all the reports get back on what happened exactly. Have you remembered anything since you've been over at Jangles? I've been having these dreams. I've been dreaming about, it's just these strange dreams, like the kids and Christmas, how they dream. I've been dreaming, I'm a kid dreaming on Christmas, and that I'm starting to dream, and then these sugar plums come, and they put me on their shoulders, and they say, "You're the king of the sugar plums now, Blitzen." And I say, no, I'm a reindeer. And they say, no, you're a little boy, and you're the king of the sugar plums. And then I go off to a sugar plum land, and I realize that the sugar plums are, they say, we care about you, and they make me feel good. They say, wow, tell us more. And everything I say, they seem impressed and interested in, and I start to make friends with all these sugar plums, and I feel like a leader. I feel like I'm producing, and I feel like I'm flying on the inside, but really I'm just there, working with these sugar plums. And it's a dream, so everything happens kind of fast. And then all of a sudden the sugar plums, there's a big chaos. And I say, what's wrong? What's wrong? And they say there's somebody that likes eating junk food, and they've arrived in our world, and their favorite food is sugar plums. And it was you, Donner. And then you've been having a dream. I guess that's why I asked why you're eating so much junk food. It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, that's weird, Blitzen. But I got to get back. I got to go check maybe we could talk about this some more later. I'm sorry I couldn't get you to fly today. Okay, well, I'm going to go, I'm going to take a break, I guess, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, good night. Good night when you go home to the Jangles. Talk to you soon. And this is Jack Frost, everybody, saying good night. As your world turns, so does the North Pole. Jack Frost saying good night and kissing at your nose. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about Helix. And you got to keep Helix in mind when you're doing your holiday hosting. And when you're thinking about your family, say, are you going to be comfortable this holiday season, this winter? Because I'm thinking of a couple people in my family that could use that trip to helixsleep.com/sleep to take that Helix sleep quiz. I'm thinking of my brother. I'm thinking of my dad. But I don't know if you have guests coming. What could be better than tucking them in a nice, comfortable Helix? Or as your kids are getting older, maybe it's time to upgrade their mattress as well. Maybe it's a self-gifting time, and you need a Helix. Have you taken the Helix quiz? How's the mattress you're sleeping in now? Was it made for you, your sleep preferences, your feel preferences? Because you've heard me talking about my Helix for years, how it fits my needs because I took that Helix quiz. I sleep on my side, I sleep on my stomach. The Helix quiz matches me each time. I'm getting ready to embark on a whole new long-term relationship now that I moved with a Helix mattress. And I really miss my Helix Dusk Luxe. It kept me from overheating at night, kept me comfortable whether it was on my side or my stomach or my back. But it's not about one mattress to fit everyone. It's about matching you with a mattress that's going to fit you and your needs or you and your partner's needs. So take that quiz. See helixsleep.com/sleep. You deserve a new bed. Your guests deserve a new bed. And of course, Helix has an amazing deal for our listeners. So go to helixsleep.com/sleep for 27% off site-wide during their Black Friday sale. This offer is exclusive for listeners of Sleep With Me. That's helixsleep.com/sleep for this exclusive offer. 27% off site-wide. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. That's helixsleep.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody.